I don't know if you can hear the bells ringing over the city.
Go ahead. Okay, sure? Yeah, go ahead.
But here I am maintaining social distance. Wanted to give you bird's eye view of the Jones Valley from Vulcan, and also share hopefully a clear picture of him. It's hard with such a beautiful sunny day to get a good picture. So the original staircase here used to look like this. It was revamped. He was actually taken down piece by piece because he had been filled with concrete at some point for some cracks. So this is the world's largest iron statue in the world. And iron doesn't do all that well when it comes to maintaining in weather. And so that arm that's out there was really heavy with concrete, and there was a fear of it falling. So they took him down piece by piece, fortified him. They did a beautiful job. And when they did, they changed the signage back to the original, the tower back to the original. Instead of having the elevator shaft inside this main tower, they got rid of the exterior silicaga marble, which was really beautiful, but it had more of a 70s look to it. And my sister actually got married in the tower. Now when you go up in the tower, it's outdoors. These are some beautiful staircase, again marble, and you can go all the way up that way. That's usually what I do, but this is the separate elevator for those who prefer it. If you're afraid of heights, this can be a kind of scary thing because, as you can see, it's open, open grid. Very safe and secure, but not for those who may be afraid. This is where the water feature used to be, and it actually used to cascade down here, but they could never find exactly how, unfortunately, to replicate it. So at least they did the center grass, and this is actually the main entrance. So let me show you. This is Homewood on the other side of the mountain, south side in Birmingham. And then Mountain Brook is this way, which is kind of in between. So as you see, the tower, the museum is right up here. And the museum, again, is really beautiful. I love coming up here to Vulcan. It's very peaceful. Here's a memory of Giuseppe Moretti, the sculptor. If you can see that. Italian stonemasons. So they list the masons, which is pretty cool as well. And that was presented by the Italian American Progressive Association in '37. So he was just 34 years old at that time. There was a time, here's Mountain Brook, here, the neighborhoods, and Hollywood and Rosedale, they're in the Homewood area. And Vestavia Hills is going to be the other foothill, Shades Mountain. So Red Mountain is the last of the Appalachian Mountains, or the last several. And then just south of Red Mountain here that we're on the top of is Shades Mountain. So this is Jones Valley. These are the barriers. It's okay to exercise in our city parks. It's not okay to take a chill and sit down and converse with others. Luckily, people are following this, that our beautiful parks and green spaces can stay open. So I just want to give you another bird's eye view here of the city and the surrounding areas. This is also fairly newly added onto, and this is the museum. Again, really nice. I had the fortune of seeing the temporary exhibit about the terminal station, and they had an incredible model, and it really talked about how Birmingham learned after tearing this down. Our gorgeous architectural beacon was torn down by the railway when people stopped using rail travel. And the city's kind of never forgotten that. And since then, maybe not perfectly and every time, but I think there's a better sensibility about wanting to preserve history, especially the architectural gems and the things that make us really unique and special. So I just kind of wanted to show you some of this. And they did a nice job here of showing the rail line, the seam of iron ore from Bessemer and beyond, all the way to the Birmingham suburbs. Birmingham, by the way, is made up of 100, I believe 100, it might be 99 neighborhoods. So we've got Homewood, we've got South Side, we've got North Side or downtown, and then we've got Ensley, we've got Pratt City, we've got Fairfield and Midfield. We've got a lot of different communities, East Lake and Center Point. All of them make up the greater Birmingham area. And so here's kind of Irondale, just kind of like a topographical representation here on the ground of the areas and the mills and the foundries that made up this city. And here's the city, perfectly planned grid. Very easy to find where you're going. Everything is laid out very nicely, north and south, east to west. Between First Avenue South and First Avenue North, you've got the railroad and Morris Avenue. And then it goes to First Avenue North and all the way up to the parks, the Civic Center, the courthouses, and everything on the north side, and the new entertainment districts. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about it. Oh, this is the water feature that originally had existed, if you can see it. So it was a WPA era project, and they used native sandstone. So again, we were really fortunate. And the WPA, of course, was an amazing kind of rebirth and rejuvenation of our economy, but also being sensitive to design, creating parks and sculptures. And here's a graduate. So this is what life looks like today. One lone graduate with his cap and gown, taking some photos with his family. Congrats to him. And the sun, I don't think is going to be very pleasant for you to see the front of Vulcan from here. But I think I've told you enough for now. Let's see if I can, yeah, I'm not going to be able to show him to you from here. But congrats to the grad and his family. Congratulations! You're welcome. Woohoo! So, lack of traditional fanfare, but we can give it when we see it. Here's again what I was talking about with design of the city and how the everything was around the railroad. A lot of these places are National Historic Monuments. There's a nice breeze you probably hear. And that was the trail that I was on earlier. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of Vulcan. Let me see if I can get a photo. There we go. There you go. So he sits high atop Red Mountain. And he is overlooking the city. Oh, one of the main things that they redesigned and why that arm was so heavy is that originally he looked like this with the spear in one hand and the anvil in the other. And what happened was in the 70s, to try to reduce traffic fatalities, they had redone the tower. And here's about the city and the rail lines and everything that I've already told you about. So 1871 was when Birmingham was founded. A lot of homes then, particularly around a lot of the industry. And you can see how it looked then. So yeah, in the 1970s, to try to curb traffic fatalities, they added a light. And so this light was where the spear was. So he's holding this kind of heavy but pretty kind of multi-sided beacon of light. And if there were no traffic fatalities that day, the light would be green. If there were traffic fatalities that day, the light would be red. So whereas it was an important message and hopefully brought some awareness to safety, it was not part of the original design of the sculpture or the visionary leaders who wanted to bring Birmingham to the world during the World's Fair. Incidentally, the Birmingham exhibit was one of the most popular, and you can imagine having this huge statue where you could actually walk around him and see him a little bit better, but he was very, very prominent there as well. And from the pictures I've seen, what an amazing thing those World's Fairs were. Just incredible architectural feats that were temporary in a lot of ways. So when he came back, he was actually brought back on a train and just kind of placed at the fairgrounds, and he stayed there for a number of years until he found his eventual and perfect final resting spot here atop Red Mountain, overlooking, protecting our city. And I'm trying to see if I can show you Sloss Furnaces here. Yeah, okay, so there's Sloss Furnaces. Not only a National Historic Site, but also they've done some ghost hunting videos and TV shows, and there are apparently a lot of confirmed ghost presence as well. Unfortunately, this kind of work was not always safe. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today. Have a wonderful rest of your hump day. It is May the 20th, and I am signing off for now. Take good care of yourselves.